It's June 1st, and don't let anybody trick you out your spot. And you might be thinking, who's trying to trick me out my spot? What spot are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the spot that God has already predestined and preordained for you to fill in this lifetime. Welcome to another episode of Wake Up with God, where today we're talking about not letting anybody trick you out your spot, not letting anybody convince you to make permanent decisions based on temporary circumstances, to forget that you are a child of God, to forget that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and have been called according to his purpose, to forget all that and throw in the towel. Now, if you haven't joined the Wake Up with God emails that come out every day, you're missing a good time. Go ahead and click the link in the bio to join. But let's get into this. Don't let anybody trick you out your spot. The last half of the year, remember who you are and whose you are. In Genesis chapter 25, Esau was tricked out of his spot. He had the inheritance, he had the destiny, he had everything, but he came in hungry and he made a decision that would last for generations. Esau let Jacob trick him out of his spot, and don't be that same way. You may have started the year off with certain plans, ideas, goals, and you might be halfway through the year thinking, you know what, this may not happen. This may not go as planned. Even though God may be leading and guiding you, you may be tempted to throw in the towel. Other people may be telling you to throw in the towel, but stand firm on what God told you to do. Stand firm on his promises, and don't forfeit any blessing, any idea, any goal, any dream that God has given you based on temporary circumstance. God gives people free will, and God already knew Esau was the type of man that would let somebody trick him out of his spot, which is evident by what Jacob did. Now, while the rift was settled years later, don't be a woman who lets anyone trick you out of your spot. God has promises that are not dependent on the economy, not dependent on the world, not dependent on what's going on. God has promises in his word that apply to you as his daughter, no matter what is going on. So don't let anybody trick you out your spot this year.